Hello， 大家欢迎回来我们的程式小教室。那我们上次呢有跟大家说过了 Python 里面的回圈 loops。那我们今天呢要来教大家什么是变数。那我们现在就继续跟着 Mosh 一起开始学习 Python 吧。
Let's start this section by a discussion of variables, which are one of the core concepts in programming. We use variables to store data in computer's memory. Here are a few examples. I'm going to define a variable called students_count and setting it to 1,000. When we run this program, Python interpreter will allocate some memory and store this number 1,000 in that memory space. Then it will have this variable reference that memory location. So this variable is just like a label for that memory location. We can use this variable or this label anywhere in our program to get access to that memory location and the data stored there. So now if we print students count and run our program, we will get the number 1,000. So this is the basic of variables.
什么是变数呢？变数呢，其实就是在 Python 里面呢，它是指说，就是你去给它一个值，然后它让电脑呢把所设的东西去存在你的电脑里面。像是他举了一个例子，它有一个变数叫做 student count。那这边 student count 呢等于1000，所以呢，他想要就是之后我只要输入 student count 这个值的话，那它会出现的数字就是1000。所以你写完这行 code 之后，你再把它 print 出来，你就要去跑这个执行这个 code 的话，那你只要打一个print student count， 那它就会自己自动出现1000这个数字，是不是很方便呢？
Now, what kind of data can we store in computer's memory? Well, we have several different kinds of data. In this section, we're going to look at the built-in primitive types in Python. Primitive types can be numbers, booleans, and strings. Let me show you. So here we have a whole number. We refer to this as an integer in programming. We can also have numbers with a decimal point. Let's take a look. So rating, we set this to 4.99. This is what we call a float or a floating point number. And this terminology is not specific to Python. In the future, when you learn a new programming language, you're going to hear these terms again. Now let's take a look at an example of a boolean.
那他举例的说呢，在 Python 里面呢，有像是字串，还有串列，还有布林值这些东西。那这3个呢都是常常会用到的。那他就会带着大家一个一个去学习。如果是数字的话，可能会有像是整数或者是小数。那通常我们也会把它称成是像是浮点数这种东西。然后他就会教大家怎么使用。
Is published. We set this to true or false. These are examples of Boolean values in programming. So Boolean values can either be true or false, and these are exactly like yes and no in English. Later in the course, you will learn that we'll use these Boolean values to make decisions in our programs. For example, if the user is an admin user, perhaps we want to give them extra permissions. So these are the Boolean values. Now take into account that Python is a case-sensitive language, which means lowercase and uppercase characters have different meanings. So Boolean values should always start with a capital letter, like what you see here. If we type false or false, these are not accepted Boolean values in Python. Only what you see here is a valid Boolean value. So false or true. And finally, let's take a look at an example of a string. So course underline name, we set this to a string, like Python programming.
那再来，他刚举的另外一个例子是在 Python 中还有一个叫做布林值的东西。那布林值呢，就像是英文中的 yes or no 的意思。那在布林值呢，会用 true 跟 false 去表示。那特别的是，它通常呢都是以字母第一个字是大写， 才会出现出正确的写法。所以不管是你全部都用小写，或是全部都用大写，它都是不正确的写法。一定是开头的那个第一个字母是大写，所以用true表示的话就是大写的 T， 然后 false 的话就是 F 要开头的 F 要大写。
So a string, as I told you before, is like text. Whenever you want to work with text in your programs, you need to surround your text with quotes. So these are the basics of variables.
那第三个呢，就是字串。字串呢，其实就是我们说的文字。所以你如果需要输入文字的话，也是可以在Python 的 code 中出现的。所以这就是他说的3个在 Python 里面最主要会用到的数字，然后还有字串跟布林值，这3个是非常会常常看到跟使用到的。
So these are the variables from the last lecture. Now I've got a question for you. There are 4 things that I have consistently used in this program. Can you spot them? If you want, you can pause the video, think about this for a few seconds, and then continue watching.
再来呢，他提到了在你开始学习 Python 的时候，你有4件事情需要去注意的。那他也希望大家去思考一下，为什么这4件事情会这么重要呢？所以我们现在要来跟着他一起看看到底是哪4件事情。
So here are those 4 things. The first thing is that all my variable names are descriptive and meaningful. So students count represents the number of students for a course, or course name clearly explains that this variable holds the name of a course. One of the issues that I see a lot amongst beginner programmers is that they use mystical names for their variables. Something like this: CN, as in short for course name. When someone else reads this code, they have no idea what CN stands for. Or they use variable names like C1. When I look at that code, I wonder, where is C2? And what is the difference between C1 and C2? So these variable names are very mystical. That's a bad practice. Make sure your variable names are always descriptive and meaningful because this makes your code more maintainable. Now, there are times that you can use short variable names like X, Y, Z if you're dealing with things like coordinates. So that's an exception.
首先，第一个就是呢，他是说，如果你要去写 Python 的话，你定义的那些东西一定要是个有意义的，而且是大家知道你在写什么的。不然的话，像是他举个例子，如果你写一个 code 叫做 C1 要等于什么，那接下来就会有人问你说，那 C2， 那 C3， 那这3个这些到底是什么差别？那你用个 CN 到底你要指的是什么东西？所以他说你要的话就要定义的清楚，让大家可以一看就知道现在这个值会代表是什么东西。
Now, the second thing that I have consistently used in this code is that I have used lowercase letters to name my variables. So here we don't have course name all in capital or in title case. All letters are lowercase, right? Let's delete these.
那第2件事情呢，就是在 Python 写 code 的时候呢，你不需要每一个都是大写，或者是你一定要开头都是大写，不一定，你只是全部用小写也是有办法把那个东西写出来的。这就是第2个你要比较注意的地方。
The third thing that I've consistently used here is that I have used an underscore to separate multiple words. And I've done this to make my variable names more readable. Because in Python, we cannot have a space in variable names, so we cannot have course name. And if you put these 2 words together, it's a little bit hard to read. That's why we use an underscore.
第3个呢，就是要善用底线，因为在 Python 当中呢，如果你是用2个单词的话，像是如果是举个 course 跟 name 的话，通常你不会用 course， 然后一个空格，然后再写个 name， 因为通常这样是不会在 Python 中出现的。所以如果要怎么解决这个空格的问题呢？那你就要用底线，所以你就要用 course， 然后一个底线再把 name 写上去，这样就会代表你想要表达的那个值，那个标签。
And the fourth thing that I have used consistently here is that I have put a space around this equal sign. Again, that's one of the issues I see a lot amongst beginners. They write code like this. This is a little bit ugly. This is what we call dirty code. Dirty, stinky, smelly. You should write code that is clean and beautiful, so other people can read it like a story, like a newspaper article. It should be formatted properly, and that's why we have EP.8 in Python. Now, the good thing is, if you forget these rules, when you save the changes, auto EP.8 kicks in and it automatically reformats your code. But that aside, you should always give yourself the habit of writing clean code without relying too much on the tooling. So these are all the best practices about naming your variables. Next, we're going to look at strings in more detail.
第四个也是最后一件，这是非常重要的事情，就是在写 Python 的时候呢，你在用你的 label 标签跟你要想要它出现的值的时候呢，中间一定要在等号的前后都要开个空格。为什么？因为如果你都把所有的字或是所有的东西都连在一起的话，其实是他人是不容易读的。所以如果你要给别人看你的 code 检查有没有写错或是哪里出了问题的话，你把它全部都连在一起挤在一起，大家会很难发现到底问题出来哪里。所以一个好的写 code 的习惯呢，就是你要在你写的东西就是等号的前面跟后面都记得加一个空格，让它可以是容易阅读的。最后呢，就是如果有人会问说，如果我这些东西我记不起来怎么办？记不起来没有关系，你只要用一个 save， 你只要把你写的 code 这些东西都 save 起来，储存起来的话，那下一次你在使用的时候，电脑就会自动帮你记忆你已经定义好的东西，你就不需要在每次打的时候，你都还要回想说我到底上次打的时候呢，我用的这个东西代表是什么意思？那这就是我们今天的程式小教室的 Python 关于变数的教学啦。那如果大家还有什么想要了解的，或是你想要对 Python 还有什么想要学习更多的，也欢迎你在底下留言告诉我们哦。那我们下次见，拜拜。